It is time for my third guest of the day. Gee, so many guests. Come on. Hey, he's an actor. He's appeared in Great Expectations, The Virgin Queen, Spooks and Doctor Who. So there. He's also a theatrical director whose latest project is a huge UK tour of Culport as Anything Goes. He runs Sheffield's Theatre. How did he get time to get here? I don't know. Daniel Evans is next to get us in the mood. It's Bat for Lashes and Daniel, because that's his name.
When I first saw you, I knew that you had a flame in your heart. Into a place that's lost. Under sheet of rain in my heart. I dream of
Bat for Lashes singing Daniel, and Daniel Evans joins me now. Hello, Daniel Evans.
Hello there.
How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
Well, I'm fine because I'm not working all the hours that God sends. I was just saying, it's extraordinary you found the time to be here, even for a few brief minutes.
Thank you for having me. I'm really touched that I'm here, so thank you.
Is there a taxi waiting outside to whisk you away to a rehearsal?
No, I think there's a replacement bus service today.
Yeah, because you were just saying, oh no, Sheffield's only 2 hours away. And I was like, yeah, on a good day.
Yeah, on a good day. I mean, those trains do go from St Pancras International.
Oh, do they?
Yes, straight to Sheffield.
Oh, in fact, yes, I know that because I was on one.
Yes.
Yes.
You can do some shopping beforehand. It's nice.
Had a nice lunch at that place, the Champagne place.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
It was lovely. Now, here's the thing. I didn't realise, you've been running the Sheffield theatres for 6 years now.
That's right, yeah.
But how does it work? Because you know, I get that you used to be an actor, then became a director. Now you're kind of, god of a whole city's theatre life. But you still do bits of acting.
Yeah, I haven't acted for a little while. I think the last thing I did was I played Anne Hathaway's pimp in the film of Les Mis.
We remember it well.
Blink and you miss me. But she did go on to win an Oscar, so I thought my girl did well. But
you get over half of that.
I do. She pays me commission still. I have a day job in Sheffield now, which I love, and that's running the three theatres, programming them, and directing there mainly. So I haven't acted for a while, but I haven't stopped acting, and it's something that I'm starting to miss actually.
You're throwing it out there. Still acting. Yeah, still an actor over here. Hi. So when you're putting together, because you've got different spaces in Sheffield.
That's right.
So there's the famous Crucible.
Yeah.
But then there's also the Lyceum. Is that the one on the right that had the panto in it?
That's right, and that's like an old proscenium arches from 1891.
So I didn't realise you looked after that one.
Yeah, and that's mostly a touring house, but we do our pantomime and the odd show there throughout the year, which we produce ourselves.
And then you've got the studio.
That's right, which is a flexible, black box space.
Okay.
But they're three very different spaces. We're really lucky.
And I think because it is different because it's a very, very specific audience.
Yes.
Because it's a smaller city, so you need a larger proportion of the population to want to come to see anything.
That's right, and also our spaces are big. Like the Crucible main house is 900 seats, and it's a deep thrust space, as they say. But actually, we're really lucky because the audience in the city, it's a city that really appreciates its theatre. I mean, the Crucible is known worldwide for being a snooker venue because we host the World Championship Snooker. I think it's 200 million viewers worldwide or something. But we're a theatre for the rest of the year, and we're lucky to have an audience that genuinely gets involved. And I can be in M&S on the counter, on the till, and someone will say, oh, saw the show last night, Act 2 needs a bit of work. So they're very, very honest.
But how long could you... because presumably there's an awful lot of people who just buy season tickets. They just come to everything.
Yeah, we've got a lot of members, and they're like the hardcore loyal members, and we really love them because they come to everything and they want to talk to us about it, and they come to all our events.
But how challenging can you be, if you know what I mean? Because I noticed this year you're putting on the complete works of the late Sarah Kane, which, that would be a challenging programme anywhere, but particularly in regional theatre.
Yeah, it is challenging, and it's a very, very risky thing for us to do. But we decided that in this climate, because we're often talking about austerity and how cuts are being made, we just decided that now wasn't the time to play safe. And I have a particular connection with Sarah because I was in 2 of her plays, and we felt that it was time, because we do this writers' season every year where we give over all of our spaces to the work of one writer, and the last 3 writers have been kind of senior male playwrights, and I felt it was about time we had a woman, and the obvious person to me was Sarah Kane. And so we're doing all of her work, even a short film. We're showing a short film that she made, but we're doing 3 full productions in the studio and 2 readings. And I don't really know what our audience will make of it, if I'm honest, because the plays are still very provocative and powerful.
Yeah.
But the response so far has been great.
But also hats off to you for doing it, because somebody should be doing it. So well done you. And then, of course, and on the opposite side of the fence, you've got the biggest, cheeriest, cuddliest, loveliest production of Anything Goes.
Well, that's nice. Thank you.
I went to see it at Christmas, and now that's touring the country.
Yeah, it's in Wimbledon this week and next week, and then it goes to Aylesbury, then Stoke, then Bromley, and on from there. It goes on until October. But we've got a fantastic cast, and as you say, it's great to have that variety that at Sheffield we're able to put on Anything Goes by Cole Porter, which is, a sort of family show, and then a much more hard-hitting, challenging season of Sarah Kane's work.
And do you, because obviously, you're an artistic person, you want to be creative, but there must be a sort of a good housekeeping hat on where you think, well, now if I send that on tour, I can make that much money. Then I can pay for, putting in a new toilet. I can do you have to think like that?
I'm lucky because there's a brilliant team in Sheffield. Dan Bates is our great chief exec, and we've got a great senior management team and a great staff. So I don't always have to think about loo roll. I do offer some feedback on loo roll every now and then, but it's a team effort in Sheffield. I mainly look after the artistic programme.
I have to say, Radio 2 listeners, they form a large part of your audience.
I'm sure they do.
Because when I went up, I've been up twice now. I went to see My Fair Lady and I went to see Anything Goes. And both times in the lobby, I have never been more famous. And it was all Radio 2 people. It was all like, heard you this morning, Graham. How was the train? Did you get lost? So, yeah.
Well, we love having you because I feel that we can feel the buzz in the house when you're in. I don't know what that's like for you, but it's like, Graham Norton's in. And it goes around like wildfire. So we love you coming up.
Well, it's very nice to be there. Now, what else have you got coming up? You've got David Hare's The Absence of War.
Yeah, that's right. That's a co-production with Headlong and The Rose in Kingston. And that's a pertinent play because it's about the Labour Party pre-election. So we're hoping that the election fever that's about to grip the country, or is gripping the country, will pique people's interest in this play, which is really about how political parties campaign and about personalities in politics, whether you need to be a personality nowadays. And also, how do we have to battle for the centre ground now in any general election?
Yeah, and when you got to Sheffield and you were given this, it's a gift, it's an enormous gift to have these spaces to fill with plays. How did you approach it? What was your kind of, what was your little, in your own head, your manifesto as you got on the train going to Sheffield? What were you thinking?
Well, I wanted obviously to have a rich mixed diet of work so that we could reach out to everyone and anyone at any time of the year. But I think also mainly I wanted the people of Sheffield to feel like they somehow belonged to the buildings, like they pay for us through their taxes, and I felt like we wanted to make sure that they felt they had a stake in it and an emotional attachment. And that's why at Christmas it's really nice, because we have our panto in the Lyceum, we have the musical in the Crucible, and then we have a kids show for tiny tots in the studio. And that's a time when I think around 10,000 people came to us over Christmas each week, I should say. So that's a lot of people.
Wow.
And I feel that's a time when we really reach out to a broad range of people throughout the city region.
And how do you balance in your head the programming of what the people of Sheffield want to see and what the people of Sheffield should see?
Well, that's a really good question. I think Laurence Olivier said something like, I do 2 for them and 1 for me. And I'm not sure I'd go that far, but there is, like, for example, we talked about the Sarah Kane season being challenging. Well, after the snooker in May, we've got a brand new adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, which, of course, is a kind of very populist title. There's been great film adaptations and a television adaptation, and that's for those people who may not necessarily want to be challenged by, or as fervently as a Sarah Kane play might do.
You know what you could do, Daniel? You could make it full of naked people with lots of swearing, and that would really mess with their heads.
Well,
we're going to see a lovely Jane Austen adaptation. What?
Well, there are things you can, you always want to sort of have a new view on things. I'm not sure we'd go that far, but watch this space.
Now, we've asked you to choose some music. What have you chosen for us?
I've chosen Mama Cass's It's Getting Better, which has nothing to do with anything except that I love the lyric, because I think it's just, how it talks about love is just fantastic, I think.
There goes Mama Cass. It's Getting Better. You're right, very cheery song. Before we forget, I should say that the UK tour of Cole Porter's Anything Goes, it's at the New Wimbledon Theatre until February the 7th, and then 31 venues across the country from Aylesbury to Woking. The A to Z, ladies and gentlemen. And full details, because there's too many things to actually talk about, the full details of Sheffield's Theatre's 2015 season are on their website, sheffieldtheatres.co.uk, and obviously we're not responsible for any awfulness you might find on there, any nudity or anything. The BBC is not responsible because because as you say, it is only a train ride away. So there might be a play that you've always loved but you've never seen a production of, or you haven't seen, or you want to see a new production of it. It's very easy, and God knows the hotels are cheap in Sheffield. So
and we do midweek matinees and Saturday matinees if those want to travel.
There you go. Yes, I remember with My Fair Lady, Cameron McIntosh helicoptered in.
He did. That's right.
Yeah. That's not the cheapest option, obviously, but it's terribly handy.
I'm not sure it's that environmentally friendly either.
No, I can imagine. Yes. Blow the leaves off the trees. Rena Hill, very excited to hear you because you were at school together at So there.
Where was that?
I told you once. Rena Hill. Do you know Rena Hill? No.
I'm afraid I don't. No.
Wow,
is she
Rena.
married?
That's just poured a lot of cold water over your joy.
That's showbiz.
Look at that. Look at that. She was so excited to hear Daniel Evans.
Rena Hill. I don't even.
No, don't go on about it. You're just making it worse.
Sorry, Rena.
She's now in tears, rocking in the kitchen. Oh, he was my best friend.
Sorry.
I've seen many of the productions in Sheffield, and I'm looking forward to Anything Goes in Wimbledon. I really connect with the song Blow Gabriel Blow. Are there any songs in the show that mean a lot to you? That's from Matthew Poxon.
Oh, Matthew Poxon. I know who that is, actually. I didn't go to school with him, but I know who he is. Hello, Matthew. I love Blow Gabriel Blow too. I actually love the sentiment in the title song, Anything Goes, because it's about telling people, do what you want to do, be honest about your lives, and don't hide your light under a bushel.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh yes, I should have asked you this already. Brock in Leicester wants to know, what was it about the theatres in Sheffield that drew you to them, and what made you say yes to doing the job? Because it's a high and low job.
I'd worked in the theatre, and when Michael Grandage was the artistic director, I did 2 plays there, Cloud9 and The Tempest, and I loved the space, and I loved Sheffield as a city. So when the job came up, I kind of knew that if I was going to run anywhere, that's the kind of place that I'd wanted to work at. So I was very lucky to get the job.
Rachel in King Standy, she goes on for some time in her question, but really what she wants to know is ladies' toilets. Why are there so few ladies' toilets in theatres? Because nothing's changed. I mean, women, there's always been a lot of women in going to the theatre, and there's always been like 3 toilets.
Well, I don't know why that's traditionally the case, but what I can say is in the Lyceum, we've just refurbished it over the summer, and we took away some men's loos and gave them to the women.
That's beautiful. That's a lovely story. Viv from Guildford. Ooh. As someone who has directed other actors, how would you consider yourself as an actor? Are you easy to work with or a bit of a monster? Does Viv know you?
Probably. Gosh, I don't know. You'd have to ask other people, but I'd like to think that I'm quite collaborative. But I really can't.
Is that as a director or as an actor?
Oh, well, as both, I hope. I mean, yeah, I love actors, though. I think it's a very brave thing to do, Well, you trained as an actor, didn't you?
Well, trained, yes.
No, you acted. You were in La Cage aux Folles.
Yes, I know, but that was years later. That's only because that was on the telly. You were brilliant as Daniel Brennan in the 2005 Christmas special of Doctor Who. If that call came, would you say yes?
Which call?
To play the next incarnation of the Time Lord. This is Chrissy in Dorking, Surrey.
Well, the thing is, as I've already been in it, it's very unlikely to come, isn't it?
No,
Because
they're
I've
all
played-
no. Loads of people have been in it and then they come back
as different characters.
Yes, it's like the Bill.
Gosh, you can't turn that down, can you?
So that's a yes.
Well,
It's a
no, I
yes,
think I'd
Chrissy
be
and Dorking.
terrified though, because they're all. I mean, Peter Capaldi is wonderful.
He's great. He is great. Now, who's this from? Rian Williams. That's not the person who went to school with, is it?
No, that was Rena Hill.
Oh, well remembered.
I'm still baffled.
No, you've just made it worse again now.
Sorry.
Because now you remember her. Could you ask Daniel for me if playing Al Capone's sidekick, Murray Humphreys, in a Welsh language musical when he was about 12 was the reason he's become one of our most influential theatre talents ever?
Gosh, who is that?
Rian Williams.
Gosh, that was on like a summer camp when I was about 13. It probably was one of those seminal experiences. Yeah. Gosh, I'm surprised that someone's remembered that.
Yeah, hey, you come on the radio. It's Stalkers Ahoy. The Richard Burton Memorial Prize.
Yes.
What was/is it, and what did it give you? Harriet and Lester wants to know.
It's a prize that the National Eisteddfod, which is a big cultural festival in
yes,
Wales,
yes.
And it's for the best actor of any year. And I was lucky enough to be the person who won it the first year it was offered. And you have to do 3 or 2 monologues. And it's really important because the Eisteddfod awards lots of music prizes and writing prizes, but they didn't award any actors. And so I think it started in 1990, and lots of the actors who've won that prize have gone on to have good careers. And it also gives you a bit of money, and it helped me with my training.
See, that's important.
It
That
is.
for Alison from Nottingham. Right. I feel this question may be too big to be dealt with on my nice fluffy Radio 2 show. What's British theatre's biggest challenge right now? Wow. Yeah, Daniel, what's British theatre's biggest challenge right now?
Well, just to get serious for a second.
Uh-oh, here we go.
No, I think it is probably...
Is it ladies' toilets? No, I'm joking. Go. Be serious. Be serious.
Look,
You're allowed.
I just think for
You're
a
allowed.
second, I think we should just talk about, the government keeps making cuts. Of course, they have to make cuts all over the shop, but they keep making cuts to the arts. And we who work in the arts feel that they're disproportionate because the money we give back to the Exchequer is fantastic. I think, they've proven that for every £1 they invest, they get something like 5 back. It's a huge industry and huge business, and we're a huge help to the economy. And if only our governments and politicians could realise that actually we deserve some proper investment.
But I suppose people listening would kind of go, well, hang on, if it makes so much money, why do we need to give you money?
Good point. It's just that most things that are successful, for example, Warhorse, right, is this big thing that's gone global.
Yes.
It's if you said, or say Les Miserables, it's huge, popular musical.
Mm-hmm.
If you said, look, this is a musical about a student revolution in Paris 2 centuries ago with a cast of 32, it would never ever get done in the commercial world, which is the world that makes money.
Yeah.
It took the RSC, or the National Theatre with Warhorse, to be able to really nurture that work in a studio environment until it was ready to share. And then, of course, once it's made, then it's gone on to go to Broadway, and now it's going all over the world. So, in a way, those risky ventures that on paper you think, I'm not going to touch it with a barge pole, they need nurturing in a safe environment in order to get to the stage where they can travel.
Well argued. Listen to that man.
I'm off my soapbox now.
No. Daniel Evans, thank you very much for coming in to talk to us.
Thank you for having
me. Good luck with all the extraordinary work you're doing up in Sheffield and now on tour across the country.
Thank you, Graham. Thanks very much.